The harder thing to manifest is a deep, loving relationship and happiness. Both are equally the same, and it's hard. The easiest thing to manifest is actually financial abundance and money. And let me explain why. Because when it comes to the financial abundance and money, what is required is just actually not to treat money as your enemy and be able to go through any limitations for 19 seconds, relax so much and connect with your I am and drop your desire which to the open heart. So what you need to be able to hold your desire when it comes to the money. Those people who love money and have no problem with money, that's not the issue. They drop a desire into the open heart. That's it. Then you can have closed heart all day, all long. That's why people who are good with money, there is no requirement for them to be loving and caring and have open heart. That is not the requirement. There is no requirement to be happy and have good relationship. So many spiritual people have correlations and they tied money into the coldness and losing love. So many things, many times, spiritual people have problem to manifest money because money is for them coldness, means coldness, lack of love. But to overcome it, and it's really about 19 seconds, have open heart and sort of feel those limitations, feel everything which is there and connect with your heart and drop it there. That's all. The problem with happiness is, and problem with having deep relationship with someone else is that, okay, let's say you've got desire that you meet your ideal partner. That's also the 19 seconds manifestation. Open heart, drop it. You feel towards yourself that you're lovable and worthy enough to meet that type of partner. But that is not even requirement. It's just the desire to have that ideal partner for yourself. But what happens next? I find that no manifestation teachers are talking about it because it's not, I want that and I get that. But for the own happiness and for the love 2.0, for the deep, meaningful relationship, not only with the soul partner, but also with anybody else, to have friendships, deep friendships, is required self-love. And self-love, also, not many people talk about what a really self-love is because it's not emotion as such. Self-love is actually having open heart towards yourself during the day. Self-love is having open heart. Because when you have open heart, that means you accept yourself exactly as you are. You accept the moment as you are. You accept your, I don't know, moods. You accept your things you see as a negative. You accept your failures, your mistakes, the way you think, the way you are, your desires, anything which you perceive as mistakes and failures. So that acceptance helps you to have open heart. What happens? Heart is the portal to your divine self. So human self always meets the divine self, yourself, source self, through the open heart. It's your home. When human self and divine self meets in the open heart, that's your home state. And when it comes to happiness, happiness is actually self-love, and it's being at home. It means having an open heart all day long. And for deep relationship, you can only build a deep, loving relationship with your soulmate when you build your relationship with yourself. So when you accept yourself first and love yourself, that means you're in the state of open heart when it comes to yourself. No judgment yourself, no criticizing yourself. Judgment and no judgment and no criticism towards yourself. Acceptance, total as it is, and you love it. You love yourself exactly as you are at that moment. Even your human selves, which are in your perception weak, in your perception they do mistakes, in your perception they fail, or they are not perfect. It's acceptance, all of those parts. Because when you've got open heart, you sort of integrate them through the open heart. When it comes to the happiness, self-love, and acceptance yourself, this is, as I said, it's not emotion. It's not having certain emotion for yourself all day long. It's only open heart. Now, forget about emotions. You don't need to chase emotions anymore. Emotions belong to the mind and belongs to the mental realms. What belongs to the spirit, source self, and your home state of being, and your state of being is feelings. Emotions go always up and down. They always once up and once down. Whereas feelings, they are stable, they are steady, and feelings which comes from the state of being, from I am, from the source self, from your home, they are always satisfaction, fulfillment, peace, neutrality. It starts always with neutrality, but when you stay long enough, through the neutrality, you start accessing certain kind of love, but as a feeling, then you start to observe, and you can feel the bliss, peace, calmness. These are type of very stable, not going up and down, only on positive side, this type of feelings which comes from state of being, from I am your source self. Now, the problem with staying with happiness, self-love, is at the beginning very hard, only because there are many human self which have been traumatized, and therefore they were how to say it, they need integration. There are many splitted part of yourself which have been traumatized. They are stuck in time and space, and they are living their own emotion because they got stuck in emotion. You were not able to process some kind of emotions and some kind of memory as a child or teenager, or whenever the trauma happens. And that particle stayed on its own, living its own life. And when you trigger, your whole awareness and attention is usually there. And then you feel like a child who is traumatized again. So when you practice open heart, self-love, and therefore happiness, your whole awareness as a human self, at the beginning with your self-discipline and self-power, you hold it in one space in your heart. I'll practice it only once per day in the morning for 1 hour, between 30 minutes till 1.5 hours, sometimes even longer. And it really requires a self-discipline and focus, because you get used to get distracted focus, to be in the mind or to be triggered. You all over the places. You don't get used to be focused on one point, especially not in the open heart. And why? Because it hurts. At the beginning, it hurts. To have open heart at the beginning, it hurts. But it hurts differently as if you are triggered. Because if you are triggered and that particle triggers you and it wants to be processed, and when your awareness is there and you are that particle, let's say outside of body or in your mind, then you repeat the same emotion over and over. You don't process it. You don't go into the coherence. You don't go into the integration. That's not the healing. That's reaction. That is perpetuating the circle, heart circle trauma circle. The way how it is done, it is when you practice the focus in your heart, all focus goes there. And you breathe, especially for 5 seconds, or you count till 5. It must be longer, so you are not thinking, but you are fully present, breathing through your heart. And you want to relax and slow down, so your awareness is at one spot, still in stillness, without moving with your thoughts and emotions. Without moving with your thoughts and emotions. In your heart. And when you relax and soften and feel safe enough to feel, then you feel it as a background or above you, as a clouds. You see it, you can observe it, it's there. And what you want to do is really keep your focus in stillness on one center in your heart, open heart. So you have to relax your chest, relax your heart, feel safe and trusting the process, trusting meeting yourself and being okay with that pain, because you are trying to avoid that pain. But the moment you observe it this way, your source self is bringing everything which you bring into your heart, all traumatized parts, memories, limitations, beliefs, fears, they come to the coherence. So your source self brings the coherence to your energy field, brings satisfaction, brings healing, brings neutrality. So you neutralize any and you integrate any traumatized parts into yourself. So you become whole again as a human self. You are whole, but those fragmented parts, they become integrated into yourself, within that heart. And all those hurts goes away by you staying in stillness and neutrality till that pain, emotional pain behind you or above you goes away. You are not at the same level when you are in your heart at that stillness at one point. You just observe it. The same process you can do it when you want to drop your desire, which is filled with trauma. So you don't want to run away. You don't want to clear it first somewhere else. You want to bring it all into your heart and relax and meet that source self. Bring that desire into your source self, into yourself, which is still in neutrality. I mean, without movement, in that one point, all your focus and attention is at one point in your heart. And you breathe, you relax, you trust that moment so much that you stay with that desire, no matter of the feelings and no matter of the emotions, unpleasant emotions and body sensations. And you relax and breathe through it. And when you breathe through it, you should be yawning, or you should feel that something is moving on. The more you observe it and notice it, the more you bring coherence into it, the more you release it, more neutrality. You neutralize all limitations, you integrate traumatized parts, and then you feel that you are that desire, and then you breathe it, and then everything just, I don't know, you yawn, and then you're stable and still with that desire. And the same with the happiness. And when it comes to the relationship, you want to be present with that person. When it comes to the soul partner, you want to be present with that partner. So you are rooted and grounded in your heart when you talk to your partner, when you have conscious time with your partner. It's that way the presence builds the depth of the love between you two. That's why, quote unquote, manifest happiness, quote unquote, manifest deep loving relationship is really about open heart. And at the beginning, it is about staying still in open heart, no matter of the unpleasant body sensations, unpleasant emotions, the parts which will be loud, which you will feel and want your attention and wants you to go back to the thinking or reacting. You want to neutralize it through the heart, through the breathing, through be calm and still. So that open heart at the beginning, it's act of self-love. It's not always pleasant. Sometimes it requires you to have open heart, even though you feel hurt, even though you feel sadness, even though you feel fear, not being afraid, not close your hearts. Just be there with your source self and breathe and relax. And just trust that when you are still in your heart, you are with something bigger. And then there will be shifts and moments when you will feel one with source self. And that's the heaven on earth. That's the becoming home. That's coming home to yourself. That's your state of home. And that's what we all want, actually. It's that feeling of connection. That's what we want. And it's really the connection with your source self, with your God self. That's what we are all cravings. Much love to you all, and see you next time.